Well, we had a few festive little flakes today, but you know what? It's not going to be festive, and it's going to be a lot more than this by the time we get to Friday morning. I'll have your complete forecast coming up.
Also, first at 4 students, including some from Oxford, marching on the state capitol, what they're demanding from lawmakers. Also, it's Christmas in March for thousands of Stellantis workers. We'll talk about a big payday for them. It's all first at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Student activists march on the state capitol demanding tougher gun laws to prevent school shootings. The Lobby for Our Lives event is targeting lawmakers to legislate more secure gun storage and more mental health resources in schools. Those issues taking a new urgency after the deadly shooting at Oxford High School in November. One of the students who spoke today was inside the high school that day.
We shouldn't have had to bury friends, classmates, girlfriends, boyfriends. No 15-year-old should have access to a gun and enter a school with one. Yet on November 30th, a student walked into Oxford High School and did just that, opening fire with a 9mm handgun.
School should be a place for us, students, to follow our passions, fall in love with learning and become the leaders of tomorrow, not fear for our lives.
The students say they're working with several House members on new legislation. We'll have more on their push for change coming up tonight at 5. We also have an update on alleged Oxford shooter, 15-year-old Ethan Crumbley, who was in court yesterday. His attorneys are trying to get him moved from the Oakland County Jail to a juvenile facility. Prosecutors are fighting that, saying he'd be a threat to other kids there. It was a long hearing with a decision expected next week. Crumbley is charged as an adult in the shooting deaths of 4 students and faces several other charges as well. Many Stellantis employees are counting down to a huge payday thanks to this year's profit sharing. The company says it made more than $15 billion in the first year after the merger of Fiat Chrysler and the PSA Group. The eligible profit sharing amount is more than $14,000, but actual payments are based on individual compensated hours. Stellantis says the payments could be the largest in 35 years, and they should arrive on March 11th. We're getting our first update on Michigan's COVID numbers in 5 days. The state is reporting more than 5,900 cases statewide since last Friday. The daily average still on the decline at nearly 1,200 cases now. Another 312 deaths are connected to the virus, with a big majority of those from record reviews. And finally, maybe the most encouraging stat in all of this, the 7-day positivity rate is below 10%. That's the lowest it's been since September. All right, well, last night, Paul, you'll appreciate this. I remember you mentioning this. At 10 o'clock, I had a live shot, had on just a sport coat. By 11 o'clock, I needed 3 layers and gloves. The temperature had dropped that much, and I see it just keeps dropping today.
You know, I am not kidding you when I say this. I was watching you in that 10 o'clock live shot. I'm not kidding. I was watching you in that 10 o'clock live shot thinking, man, at 11, it's going to be really different. And it was. I mean, in fact, Sue Drob emailed me from Manchester. I think her temperature dropped from 51 to 41 in 1 hour and 10 minutes in Manchester. That's quite a drop behind that cold front. And we never really recovered. We dropped into the mid-20s, and we've stayed there all day long. Wind is now blowing from the north-northwest at generally between 5 and 15 miles per hour. And we've had a few festive little flakes around today. Well, maybe if you're done with this whole winter thing, maybe, well, they're not festive for you, and they're not pretty. But in any event, they were basically for effect. Friday, we will talk about that, and I'll have snow totals for you coming up. But tonight, we're going to see temperatures dropping into the upper teens by midnight, a dry night ahead. But again, we'll talk about those snow amounts coming our way in just a few, Jace.
All right, Paul. A jury is deliberating the case against 3 former Minneapolis police officers charged with violating George Floyd's civil rights. They're charged with depriving Floyd of his right to medical care. 2 are charged with failing to intervene when Derek Chauvin pressed his knee on George Floyd's neck. The video, which sparked protests worldwide in 2020, shows the officers doing nothing to save Floyd, but the defense argued they were inexperienced and deferred to Chauvin. The hope that Russia will not launch a full-scale invasion of Ukraine is fading. Russia's ambassador to the United Nations reiterating false claims that Ukraine is involved in a blatant genocide in eastern separatist regions. Russia is already sending more troops into those regions and calling them peacekeepers. On the Ukraine side of the border, the president there calling up the National Guard, and lawmakers have approved a state of emergency to begin tomorrow. And U.S. and several other countries have slapped Russia now with new sanctions, but many question if that will be enough to stop the Russian aggression here.
We are currently at the middle of the largest security crisis in Europe since the Second World War. This crisis was created and is being escalated by one side unilaterally, by the Russian Federation.
Russia is the aggressor here. History tells us that looking the other way is ultimately the more costly path.
In spite of those new warnings, a new poll shows 26% of Americans say the U.S. should have a major role in this conflict. The Associated Press survey found 52% of Americans favor a minor role, while 20% say the U.S. should stay out of it. The findings are one look at how voters are feeling heading into the midterm elections this fall. And thanks to a global economy, no matter what the United States does, Americans are feeling and will continue to feel the impact of a dispute nearly 5,000 miles away. Our Paula Tutman live at one place you will definitely see the ripple effect at the pump. Paula.
Yeah, hi, Jason, because what happens over there doesn't just happen over there anymore. For instance, if you eat, it's going to affect you. What happens to Russia is going to affect you. If you pump gas, what happens to Russia is going to affect you. A wonderful way to see the world from the safety of your own perch is by looking for the webcams of the world. So this is Sophia Square in Kyiv, Ukraine, just around noon today. The streets seem calm despite the fact that Russian troops are poised to move further across the border. Now, this is Campus Martius, not so different from Kyiv on a cold, snowy day. And it's through these lens of these webcams, it might be very easy to say, well, that place is over there, very far from my place over here.
There are individuals who are saying that what's happening to Ukraine is sad, but it's not our problem.
Mykola Mirsky is a founding member and chair of the Ukrainian American Crisis Response Committee of Michigan, an organization that today is preparing to mount a financial response to what will likely become an humanitarian disaster if threats turn to war.
This rejection of the existence of moral right is the exact same kind of attitude that would step over a bleeding man on the street, tolerate a drunk driver, or excuse domestic violence. They would say, and we've all heard it, we've all heard somebody say, hey, it's sad, but it's not my problem, and shrug smugly. That I find horrifying.
But the other thing we see from these high-angle views when we bring it right down close to the street level is that as easy as it is to connect globally with technology, connecting globally is something we've been doing for hundreds of years in other ways. We are a global community and a global economy, inextricably tied to one another by slender threads of supply, demand, and need.
Regardless of the degree of sanctions that we put on Russia, if the invasion goes forward, gas prices are going to go up because oil is going to become harder to export.
Professor Peter Trumbore is the chair of the Department of Political Science at Oakland University.
Any disruption in supply anywhere has a ripple effect across the global economy. And so when we talk about, why should Americans care about what's happening? It is because there are these ripple effects that are a function of the interconnected nature of the global economy, which means we're going to feel it.
Yeah, and so, it does get a little foggy, Jason, I think, for maybe a lot of people when it does happen, seemingly so far away. But if you really think about it, nothing is so far away. Those webcams bring us closer. Our economies bring us closer. Everything brings us closer. We're going to continue this conversation at 6, really trying to unpack this information so people understand the cause and effect, because it is a domino effect, Jason.
Yeah, not to mention the example it sets for the rest of the world and other nations. All right, Paula, thank you.